are the Black Girls in AI, cutting
Hi.
through the noise. We got Jessica here,
Shell.
and we're talking today about some practical uses for AI in your actual business growth.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've tuned in, we've talked about what it is
Mm-hmm.
and the basics of how it works, how to use it,
Absolutely.
everyday uses.
Absolutely.
But let's get that bread.
Let's get to the coins.
Let's butter the bread.
Let's get to the coins. Let's see what all we can use to get to the coins, so the coins can get bigger.
So let me start with this.
What?
AI doesn't save you money unless you fire everybody.
No, for sure. No.
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Yes.
I'm going to say it one more again. AI does not save you money unless you fire everybody.
It does not.
Now, could you use an AI tool to help you to analyze ways that you're using your products so you could spend less money by therefore saving money? Yes, of course. Yes. It just negate what I just said? No, I did not. Because that's one of many uses of AI. It's one very narrow and specific use. It only works for certain businesses.
Mm-hmm.
If you were making whatever widget, you're making a widget.
Yes.
And you're buying the exact same product, but from a certain vendor that charges more, and another vendor charges less, and everything is identical, and AI helps you figure that out, then yes, AI did save you some money. But what if you don't make widgets?
Yeah.
Or what if your widget just can't be cheaper without significantly degrading quality? So that AI is not going to help you there. So I just want to set that framework for those who are listening or watching, because it's not going to save you money unless you fire everybody. It may prevent you from spending money on a hire sometimes, right? Like, so your typical VA, virtual assistant, as I mentioned, your entry level, your data analyst. Are there entire companies whose job it is to basically make PowerPoints? Yeah. And are you basically about to be out of a job? Yeah. That's true. Yes.
Unfortunately.
There are certain tasks. If your job was just, I used to be a host, so I understand. I said my job description used to involve calling and confirming reservations. And yes, that is replaced by AI if you're using it properly. You should replace that. True.
It's more helpful.
I just wanted to get that out the way. That unless you're cutting out an entire piece of labor that you otherwise would have paid for, it is not saving you money. It's an additional product. It's an additional service. It's an additional cost. You need to know that. You need to just be like, when you added cell phones to your business phone system, did it save you money? Right? You had phone service, and then you added cell phone service. Did adding that cell phone bill save your business money?
Did you spend more money
on the cell phones?
On the cell phones.
You had to buy phones, you had to buy service.
And the plans.
Right. But does it enable you to make more money? Yes. Which is why you did that.
There was a method to the madness.
And I want to set that up because this whole, it's coming from my job. It is coming for some jobs. I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna waste your time. It will come for some jobs. So get out of that job. or be the person who uses AI.
You laugh like that.
Cause it's just like, I'm like, look,
so
when
sinister.
The tractor came out, farm hands lost jobs.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Some produce can be picked by machine. Some has to be picked by people. There's farms right now that are looking for berry pickers because of all this craziness. And they're talking about $10 an hour.
To pick some berries?
I did the math. If you worked full time, they need 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. I did the math. It might have been $11 because I think I did the math. It was like $770 a week.
Say, that ain't
to pick berries 7 days a week. Be a berry slave. So
is that including? Is that gross or shit? Is that that's the net? Like what?
That's gross. 770 gross. Not even net, man. That ain't net. So. It's not even. That's 47,000 a year. Not even.
That's not.
No, I can't count. That's not even close to that. That's like 30. That's like 30 odd 40,000. Yeah, 30 odd after all your taxes, assuming
Mm-hmm.
let's say you're head of household that has dependents.
Mm-hmm.
So say you're head of household with dependents and you're not getting any benefits at all, nothing getting deducted but FICA. Um, yeah, you're looking at best 30-something thousand a year. Because it's about 40. It's not even
Who
40.
the hell looking at that shit, me,
It's not
honey?
even 40 before taxes.
Mm.
So it's like 30, 30, 31, 32 to be a berry slave. But that's my point. So actually, to take it back to the AI piece, right?
Mm-hmm.
So and that's why I laugh. You know, it's like people going to do jobs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because like the farm,
Yes.
if you were a carrot picker,
Yes.
farm a machine can do that now.
Yeah.
If you were a potato picker, machine does that now.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened to those farm hands? Well, initially, some farmers just lost their jobs. Others learned how to what? Manage
Use
and
it.
maintain the tractors.
Mm-hmm.
Do the jobs that the tractor couldn't do.
Mm-hmm.
Now there's more farms, bigger farms,
Mm-hmm.
bigger farms, more farm land that's being worked on because we have the machines. So now there needs more people to manage tractors. You learn to become the tractor driver and operator.
Mm-hmm.
You learn how to use the picking machine and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You learn how to do that work.
You make more money with that. You bring in more clientele. You get your business growing.
That's why we have 1% of the population that farms for the other 99%, at least here in the States. And the States can feed half of the country.
Mm-hmm.
California alone feeds half the country.
Mm-hmm.
And if the United States did not export any food and focus on entirely self-sustaining food system, which would be terrible for the world, let's just be honest. Like, if you understand global food infrastructure, that's not a good idea.
Yeah.
But let's just say, for the sake of argument, that America was only going to feed itself.
Mm-hmm.
It could.
Okay.
There'd be a lot less, pineapples all year.
That's okay.
And oranges all year and bananas all year.
Gotta keep them off the cruise.
But my point, to get to that point, right,
Mm-hmm.
is that I think if United States population was to self feed,
Mm-hmm.
it might increase to 2% of the population feeding.
Heavy on the might.
That's like 3 million, 3 to 5, maybe 6 million people doing all of the farming and food jobs, right, to feed the nation. Since California alone can feed half the country, just to give you context of how I could say that with confidence. It's because of states like Hawaii, California, the South as a group, right? Could feed Florida, especially, right? Could feed most of the countries, and that's not even using the territories.
Yeah.
But all that is to say, farming didn't disappear. It created more opportunities elsewhere. That's why we can do marketing.
Yes.
Why we can do tech.
Yes.
The reason we have tech and can do tech is because we figured out the food problem.
Yes.
We figured out the clothing problem.
Yes.
When we have washing machines, and so wives aren't spending hours of their time and energy scrubbing clothes, it allows them to do the other things.
Yes.
So this is what we're talking about here. I want to really frame that for your business, because there's a lot of those misconceptions and that miscommunication has people confused, and you'll understand, like, well, I thought I was gonna automate that. Oh, no, you're not. Like, so we got like generating text, obviously, for copy purposes, right? For marketing, copy, and all kinds of writing. If you're a terrible writer, somebody else should be the writer in your company. That's the actual solution. The actual solution to being a bad writer is not to just have AI write for you. It is to have the best writer write more with the help of AI. So sometimes in a small company, you only got 2-3 people, like with us, right? We're a small team. We're very lean and mean. Mm-hmm. So then, what like with the marketing piece and content creation, you're doing what you can.
Yes.
You're doing quite a lot. You're doing what a team could do. Yes. Because you use AI to help you.
Yes, I sure do. 100%. I sure do.
And as we grow, we will outsource it out to another company. Mm-hmm. Like, that is the plan. All right. We make our own logo. Yes. Mm-hmm. We make our own branding. Yes. Mm-hmm. Would AI help us do that? Yes.
Absolutely.
And I already have a gal on standby that we will hire to redo the branding. I will have a couple of companies on standby to take over some of that digital marketing piece for us, just to make it easier. Mm-hmm. Or at the very least, we will pay for more tools and services. Ball on a budget.
Needless to say we're still using AI.
But we use AI.
AI is still being used for sure.
And it's not like we're just budgeted because of fun. That's because again we're constantly using all different kinds of stuff.
Yes, different tools for different things.
And we're learning and we're adapting and we're growing and we're constantly adjusting. For a solopreneur, a micropreneur, yes, you can use, a lot of these tools. It's about finding that balance. Sometimes you want to use one tool for every single thing. Sometimes you got to figure out, like, how important is this to your business model? Because, like, a lot of companies are going without newsletters. Anyways,
yes.
Like, if you're in healthcare, my doctor does not send me newsletters. I don't even think they have one.
I don't think doctors will send you one just to say, hey, just stop by. This is what's going on.
I got a dentist. Yeah. I have one dentist who does. He sends me text messages. I get newsletters from him.
That's nice.
Yeah. It's independent. Small little firm, right? The DC dentist. I'll give him a free plug.
Thank you,
Dr. Terry Victor.
Shout out
great
to you.
Dentist if you're out here in the DC area.
Shout out to you.
I've sent friends there.
Thank you.
Gotten taken care of very well. So I'm gonna support my man's, my DC dentist. And so he's using AI in a great way, right? I get automated text messages, I got automated emails. Hey, Jessica, I got time for a cleaning on Tuesday. Can you come either of these times? He's filling his time slots. That's exactly how you're supposed to use it.
Okay, good.
But, like,
is it hurting his business?
I don't think it, but I'm sure it costs a couple bucks to his point, right?
I mean,
it costs a couple bucks for him to use that, but it's helping him make more money because he makes the money back on the customers coming in and then recommending more services, and that's a person-to-person thing that only people can do. So we talk about, like, so there's a specific use case for you, right? You got your dentist. You got your, or think of it that way, your small practice.
Yes.
Your small owned practice. Your specialty, your specialist, your small specialist. If you're a dermatologist, and as an example of that too, right? I've got one prescription that my dermatologist sent through a third party. And so they send me emails. Hey, your prescription's coming up. Time to renew before you run out.
Yeah.
Send me the exact link.
Yeah.
Right to my phone. Click it, buy it, order it. It's in the mail and poop, it's done.
Is that considered as AI?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Automations is nothing else. Right? If this is a monthly product and then they bought it on the 5th, by the 1st of the next month or the 28th of the next month, remind them, because they received the last pack on the 5th. It lasts 30 days, which means by the 5th or the 4th of the next month they'll need it. It'll take 5 to 8 days to ship. So let's talk to them on the 20th and the 25th. So if then. Yeah. That's automations. Yeah. Right? So simple and straightforward. And that's healthcare. I might have thought about that in the healthcare field. Like, well, what would AI in the healthcare? It's not always.
I feel like healthcare is definitely, like, AI could definitely help healthcare a lot more than I feel like people are trying to, like, give them credit for. Because it's like healthcare is just
such a big field.
It's a huge field, and honestly, a human cannot deal with 24 hours, 365. Like, it's it's really nonstop in the healthcare field. Like, nonstop. Like, people getting sick every day. Yeah. People got appointments, urgent care. Like, everything is, like, things are happening every single day.
Someone got in the fight. And
probably right now, in this very minute as we're talking to you, like, someone's on their way to the house. Like, it's so much going on when it comes to healthcare. And, like,
sometimes you just gotta sometimes it's not always, I'm a very high level thinker.
Yeah.
Right? So I'm always up hearing, like, systems and processes and governments and high level policy analyst kind of person. It's DC in me, right?
For sure.
But
nothing wrong with that. Go girl.
Yeah, but then you ground it in some sending text messages. So sure, could Dr. Terry Victor have called me to do his policy? Sure, but you know what? He found a simple way. He had a simple problem. See, the thing is, solve problems. Don't just use AI to use it. I don't mean to sound like Dolores Umbridge here, but it's not about change for change's sake.
Gotta find a solution, baby. Find a solution.
Not just wear pink and sound like Umbridge. But it's true that we don't want change just for change's sake.
Yes.
You want to actually apply and implement what will solve a problem. So if you are a dentist and your problem is, I have people who don't come back for their cleanings, which is pretty normal, And therefore, in cleanings is the best way for me, obviously, to maintain my money and
Mm-hmm.
to recommend them for more services. The
Mm-hmm.
recommendations I'll do in person. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need you to do that for me. All
Yes.
that part I know how to do. I know how to dent. I know how to dent. I know how to take care of teeth. I don't need any help with denting.
Thank you.
I'm a dentist. I can dent by myself.
Period.
What I don't, I'm not trying to go on social media and market. I have
The
enough customer. I have 10,000 people who've come to me for a service in the last, 3 to 5 years.
Yes.
With
You
those
can't keep up with all of
10,000,
them.
right?
You
I
know.
have more than enough business on
Mm-hmm.
just cleanings and doing fillings when they need it and
Mm-hmm.
handling dental emergencies.
That's it.
So let me stay in their inbox so I can say
Mm-hmm.
top of mind, which is what he did
Yes.
for me, because I didn't use Dr. Terry Victor in a couple of years. I have my own insurance. I have my own dentist that's covered by my insurance. Dr. Victor's not covered by my insurance. But when a friend of mine had some pain in his tooth,
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, I don't know, my tooth hurts and my dentist, I can't get an appointment for another 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not good.
Mm-mm.
Called Dr. Victor,
Mm-hmm.
called him Monday,
Mm-hmm.
came in Monday afternoon,
Mm-hmm.
got his tooth fixed.
Praise the Lord.
And how'd that happen? Because Dr. Victor stayed top of my mind.
Yes.
Because he stayed in my text messages.
Yes.
I didn't need a newsletter. That wouldn't have been appropriate for me.
Okay.
And if I don't even know if he sends one because I don't look.
I mean, even if he did, it's still nothing wrong with that neither.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's about, but here's the thing. So he may only have one person on his team, one of his receptionists who does all of that.
Yes.
He could have one receptionist who does the text messaging, sends that automation out, and then she might be the person. And I say she because I've been there, so I know there's she's.
Mm-hmm.
And she might also write the newsletter and send it out.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need social media marketing.
No.
He doesn't.
No.
Now,
it's not to cut you off because I feel like people just get so wrapped up in social media. Like social media is just it. Like that's the only way you can market. You do. Listen, you do. I ain't gonna hate on it.
You
but
it's just a couple static
like,
posts
but it's like you don't necessarily
need a full campaign rollout.
Yeah, like you don't need to do the most. So you ain't gotta be like, oh my God, I gotta hurry up. They're doing this. Let me keep up with this just to promote what you're trying to do.
It's just like stock investing. So people think that you need to have $10,000 to do well in stocks. No. You can start with $10, $20, $30, and you can use programs. There are so many that are out there that'll take automatic withdrawals of a few bucks and do that for you.
Yes.
And yes, that's also AI, but it's an example of like how you can look at implementation. Yes. You don't have to start with $100 million. You can start with $10.
That's it.
There's free programs, entirely free programs, or free trials, or free subscription, free plans on programs, and you can do a decent amount with that.
Yes.
And then you decide what you like, and then go from there.
Yes.
What is your problem? For example, there's a painting company, and their issue was inventory.
Okay.
They had paint that was just sitting around.
Yes.
So used a bot, figured out, okay, part of the problem is that you're over purchasing.
Yeah.
Right? You're buying, for example, 20 units in every color. But most of these colors aren't used.
Aren't being bought.
And you maintain 20 units every color. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to reduce it down to 3 units every color. So we're going to keep using these units. And then we're going to promote the colors that aren't being used enough. We're gonna promote. That's why you would probably see that. Definitely easy to see on Amazon.
Yeah.
As as a gal, I see this like certain dresses, right, that I like, and I look at the dress. Maybe the dress usually sells for $40.
You and your damn dresses.
I love my dresses, and I will die on my hill of dresses, and I will be worshipped and adored for it.
Period.
I am worshipped and adored for it. Shout out to you,
girls. My girl love us.
Because y'all hoes be wearing pants. And I'm different. Yeah, I'm different.
Shout out to the ones that wear pants because I'm not a girl.
Exactly.
I am her.
And I am the one. I am Miss Lady in the dress. I am Miss Lady dressed to the knees.
I love some pants. Girl.
One color, bold, feminine style. But so one thing I appreciate, like when I go to shop for some of them, sometimes when I go look for my dresses, especially my little cheap Amazon dresses. I love my cheap Amazon dresses. Is you'll see black, white, red is the full $30. Then you'll see like Harbor Blue for 10. peach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Doo-doo brown.
Okay.
Because we are, it's like, it's ugly color brown. That's why it's $10. Because it's sitting in their inventory. They tired of it being there.
Ain't nobody buying it.
Ain't nobody buying it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can do that internally.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have your product
yes.
that you offer, in this case, it's a paint company. It's actually painting service.
Mm-hmm.
They do painting as a service,
mm-hmm.
but they have to buy their own paint, which they're able to offer better pricing, which is smart. We get it. But if people aren't buying chartreuse green, then cut that down.
And it's okay. Like
cut your inventory. Yes. Then up your inventory. So your white and your black and your beige are getting bought all the time.
And that's okay. Buy more of it, honey.
Then keep that inventory up.
Absolutely.
And now you're saving money where you otherwise were wasting because you're using storage and then you're having to take too long to buy orders. You can buy larger orders of the colors people like. So you can save money on those orders. And you're not buying a couple colors because people don't like. They cost a little bit more. People who want it will buy it. They don't care.
They're okay with that. Yes.
And then that's how you go. That's how you then build a marketing campaign.
Yes.
Because now you may market, you may wonder like, well, why are they marketing certain colors for spring? Because they had too much in inventory.
You gotta get it out, baby.
People weren't buying chartreuse. Now they're going to promote the chartreuse special. They're going to do a whole special about the shades of green and the why you need all the spring shades.
Interior design. They got to bring all that interior design and see what looks good with it just so it can catch your eye.
And then think about how you can apply that use case. So you have your service. You paint interiors of houses. You're interior and exterior home painter.
Yes.
Bet. You have colors that you're in certain stock. You're trying to get rid of them. How are ways to do that? One, you just don't buy no more.
Yes.
Right? That's the procurement piece.
Yes.
Next is how you do with the inventory piece. Okay. What we're going to do is going to go to marketing and say, make a marketing campaign, make a lookbook, do a newsletter campaign, do all that, whatever you got to do. Maybe we will create content.
Yes.
Maybe what we're going to do is we're going to paint our studio those colors of green that nobody likes. And then as we film content, that green background will be there and we'll kind of incept the idea to have more green interiors. And that's how we sell the green paint.
Yes.
And then we'll do a quick little flash sale. A 1 week, 1 month flash sale, sell all that green, clear out the inventory because people are going to keep buying beige and white. They're going to always buy beige, white, and eggshell, so we're going to keep that. Now we can buy beige, white, and eggshell at 50 units at a time instead of 20. Maybe 100 units each at a time. And that's how you're able to do that. Now how do you know who to market to for your green? Analytics. Now you're going to go look at analytics. You're going to break down who your typical customer base. Your usual customer base is first-time home buyers, which tend to be in their 30s, right? Millennials and Gen Z. So now you're going to go to TikTok and Instagram.
TikTok is I feel like that's the highest one.
TikTok will be the best one, right? So now I'm going to focus on TikTok. I'll make a campaign. And I'm going to, with these things in the background, I'm going to do a whole campaign about the shades of green, just so I can sell all this green paint that's not selling.
Yes.
And that was all, what? AI powered.
Yes.
Right? Because AI help you do your analytics. AI analyze your storage. AI analyze your inventory. It found a problem. And AI helped you deal with procurement. AI helped you go to marketing. AI helped marketing do their forecasting, their analytics to figure out who's going to buy it and when. And then they also helped them make their campaigns. And maybe they made their content with it too, or not. Or not. Maybe they did go to Google Veo 3, right, and make some videos using that color scheme.
Yeah.
I do that sometimes. I just made a nice little catalog. I have my company color scheme, and every single image, I made all my images, right? So for one, I'm not using anybody else's stock image. I'm going to do with that. And two, so it could be branded. I wanted it branded. I wanted a certain color uniformity across the board. Yes. And so I did that, right? But that's how I used it. I didn't use it to make the whole presentation. I wrote it.
Yeah.
And then I also wrote a big master prompt and I sent it to a thing and it rewrote it better. True.
It all starts with you got to write down, know what you want, find a solution for it. Find your problem, find a solution. If AI can help, let it use it. It's okay.
But what's the problem? In this scenario, that paint service company had a problem. The problem was they're paying for all of the storage. It's not moving. They're overspending on it. So what did we do? We didn't shrink the size of their storage unit.
No.
We actually maintained the storage unit size. and we just changed how the products were being used, so that their products were being used more effectively.
Yes.
We created space for them to actually pick up more equipment that they wanted to use.
Yes.
Now they could experiment and use equipment.
Yes.
And help them paint faster and more effectively and use less tape or use less, we found those solutions. The key here is solutions. What's your problem?
What is the problem? How can we solve?
It's not just about throwing AI at the wall.
No.
Because that's a big piece of what I do as well, about creating things like thought leaders, AI-powered thought partners. And oftentimes we come back a lot.
What's a thought partner?
AI thought partner. So you have thinking of ideas and strategy, the planning, and you have the doing.
Okay.
Right? Planning and execution. Plan, execute. Plan, execute. Okay? You have some AI that helps you plan.
Yes.
I have AI that helps you execute.
Yes.
Sometimes lines get a little blurry. That's where agents come. They're coming in the middle. They're like, they do play, they help you plan, they also execute, right? But obviously automations is the hardest core example of pure execution.
Okay.
Because you have to plan.
Yeah.
Right? You may go to ChatGPT or to your LLM, your large language model, to help you plan.
Yes.
So what a thought partner is an AI planning partner.
Okay.
AI strategy partner.
Okay.
So it says it answers that question. If I have a painting business and this is my problem, how would I solve that?
Yes.
Right? But you can also make thought partners for each department. Because then that's when you go to the marketing department. Right? The marketing department might have their own thought partner and says, okay, I have been tasked with making now a campaign for these paints and this paint colors in order to help them sell. What other strategies do that with the resources we have available? Okay. So you need to know your own company. We will do like a gap analysis and things like that, so you can find the gaps in your service and your offerings. If you already have a problem that needs to be solved, you can create your AI thought partner that'll help you solve those problems using AI. It helps you figure out how and when to use the AI, or just how to use your own stuff, if that makes sense. Yes. How to use your own team, right? Because when you create your thought partner, you're going to add in your own information with your own company. This is my team. These are the roles we have. These are job descriptions. This is what we're doing. This is what I have available. This is the services, this is the products. This is what I'm already paying for. Yes. And you are add that in. And how do you get a thought partner? Call us. Go to jwmconceptsllc.com and contact us. Period. But, or go to your friendly AI consultant to do that as well, right? If you have some people who are AI consultants, experts, chief AI officers, those people wouldn't go to talk about thought partnership and thought leadership in your business. But at the end of the day, I understand, if you're a service business, you're like, well, I offer services. I'm a career coach. Okay. So
there's an AI for that.
I mean,
there's an AI.
Can you clone yourself? Can you take your methodologies and clone it into a bot and then just sell the bot? How about you sell access to your bot? Right? Coaching with you might be $4,000 a month to coach with you. Or $100 a month gets you access to my bot that I program, that I code, that I built, that answers all the questions for you.
And it's the same thing. It really, truly is. Like, you're doing the same thing. You just taking the load off of, you're just letting AI do something so simple, like deal with the people, and you dealing with other things.
And here's another thought too, because then what'll happen is, from the coach's standpoint, right? Yes. Now people can go and talk to my bot all the time and get their questions answered. I can see what questions are being asked. Okay, good. And then I can tailor my next, what is my podcast, a course, a training system based upon the questions that keep being asked.
It's more like basically like a feedback type of thing.
A feedback loop, because you're getting data from everybody who's doing the stuff. Okay. So if everybody in your career coaching program is going to the career coach and asking, how do I onboard? How do I start? How do I use? Then you need to make some content and do a class or do a lesson on onboarding. Okay. Right? If everybody's asking questions about marketing, you need to bring in resources about marketing. This is how you don't waste your time with useless stuff. Yes. And for them as well, because sometimes people's questions are so basic. And they don't even know that. And they don't even know that they're asking the same basic question. Well, just say it's my business. Okay, go whine to the bot.
I don't want to hear that.
I've heard this 12 times today.
I know it's your business. We know.
Because then think about that too. Then when you buy your, whether it's 200, 500, 1,000 an hour, 1 hour consult with them. Let's say you buy your consult. When you buy your consult, they can go look at your account and see what you've done.
Okay.
They can see what you've submitted. They can see what you talked to the bot about. It's like, it's gonna be like, oh hey Shell, so I see you're doing operations with this AI company, and your biggest issue has been, creating campaigns for the service, right? You're mostly doing a lot of marketing based stuff. A lot of the operations is pretty smooth. You're trying to create campaigns. I see that. Okay, great. So, and I see that the bot suggested this campaign, and you've done it, but you still asked for this time. So how is this time helping? How are we going to use this time to help you? Is it just for campaigns? Oh no, something else completely is going on. Oh, okay. Yeah, no, the campaign help is really helpful, but we have a project we're working on. I'll let you talk to you about this project. And I just want to make sure it's confidential. All that kind of stuff is what I want to meet. Okay. Oh, okay. Well, let's talk about your product.
Yeah.
See what I'm getting at?
Yeah.
It helps the consultant be more effective with their time.
No, for sure. For sure. It's like pretty much like a breakdown before you come to me. Like, I see what your issue is. Let's figure out how can I help you? Like, once you done told the bot everything, you done gave them all the answers to ask them questions, they answered it accordingly. However you like to answer, I don't know. But once it gets to me, the coach, or her, like, you'll know what's going on, what you need to do. Like, that way you can have your notes on the side. Well, this is your agenda. Like, this is what I see for you and your business.
Right.
This is how I can go accordingly. Right. Let's set this up. Why don't you try this? Oh, this doesn't work for you? Okay, cool. Well, I looked at this as well. Like, pros and the cons of what we can do for your business. I feel like that's where you come in with the coach. Like,
exactly.
That's where that comes in.
Exactly so. So even if you're, because every company's business, if you're doing HVAC, you have different needs.
Yes.
Than an attorney has needs, than somebody who has a shoe store.
Yes.
And when you have your shoe store, you maybe think, why do I need AI? Maybe help people pick out their shoes. Maybe to navigate the return process. They can ask questions about returns and purchases and specials. Oh, I saw you had specials. It's still going on. No, but we'll have another special in 2 weeks if you can wait that long. Or no, we don't. That special's over with. But here's a coupon.
Yeah.
That'll help you buy the thing. Buy the thing.
Buy the shoes. Shout out to them coupons.
Actually, I want to set up time to talk to a shoe specialist at the store. Can you book a meeting? Can you book that for me? Sure. Right? Maybe we've just walked in. Maybe you want to do a demo. Maybe you want to do a showing. Especially if it's like fancy purses, right? Imagine if Hermes used that to help them along the way. I'm just saying, or Dior, right? Imagine if Dior helped you with your custom fittings and your custom everything to get your gowns built for your next event.
Yeah.
You see what I'm getting at? You might be, I'm just a little, vintage shoe store. Well, if the last time, like me, I like to buy pumps. I'm pretty straightforward. My shoes are closed-toed pumps for the most part, right? 3-inch, 4-inch pumps. So if you've got now a customer account, I'm in your CRM. It logs the fact that I've come in 3 times to buy pumps, about a total of 6 pairs of shoes. Then it would make sense that when next time you buy pumps as a consignment store, next time you're buying pumps that are my size, that I might get a message, hey, these new pair of pumps just came in, I thought they might interest you. That's something that's a little more agentic, you might say, right? Because it has to have a lot more knowledge.
Yes.
It has to think for itself.
Yes.
So, those are things about like which one you're going to use and how and when. That makes sense. A lot of people get confused about that. It's like you're not throwing spaghetti at the wall to see what sticks. That's what we do. That's our job. Our job is to throw spaghetti at our wall, our never-ending spaghetti wall, and see what sticks. But if you are... you can use it if you're retail. It can help you with customer service, help you push sales, help you get customized information from per client, right? Think about how much time it would take one of your associates to even if you had it in a CRM. Think how much time it take for your associates to go through your customers and look through what they have and compare it to what's available and send the email or text message. It's not even worth the time.
That is so much work. Just by you saying it, it's just so much work.
It's not even worth the effort.
That is so much work.
It is not worth the effort unless you're selling thousands of dollars worth of shoes. If you're not selling Oscar de la Rentas, if you're not selling Louis Vuittons, it is not worth it.
It's not.
But if you have a secondhand consignment shop, it is worth, say, a couple $100 a month to pay for that bot. You know, if it was a couple thousand, say it was 5,000 to set up, probably something like that. I hate to say it, probably gonna be more like a $10,000 thing. But if it's worth it for a consignment store to spend the $10,000 and invest in the 500 per month to maintain the bot that will go analyze every last bit of sales data per customer ever in your whole CRM, and will analyze all of your inventory and come up with the basic profile of what your customer wants to buy, and then send them customized emails and text messages maybe once a week, letting them know this is our sale. If ever, this is our sale of the week. This is our special of the week. By the way, here's some shoes I think you'll like. And if a certain customer always buys Ralph Lauren bags versus another customer always buys Prada bags, well, then every time a Ralph Lauren bag comes in, you should tell the girl who likes Ralph Lauren bags that another Ralph Lauren came in. That's how you're gonna get more what? Sales.
That's how you get more clientele. That's what the people
come back. People come back. Repeat customer. Hey, it's summertime. We notice you like to wear dresses. Here's some summer dresses in the sizes that you've purchased before. You purchased these sizes, and here's 10 dresses that are trending this summer. 10 styles that we just got in that are your size. That meet the more or less qualification, the tagging that we have for the dresses. We never wear a halter dress. We're not gonna recommend a halter dress. We recommend more shift dresses and more, A-line dresses like you like to wear.
Yes.
Like I want you to see that, if you're in government contracting, you're doing a bunch of white collar work. Dear God. But you definitely need help to go through that procurement process. Don't lie. I know a gal, her full-time job is write proposals. Procurement purposes. But hey, she does use this AI to help her.
As she should. Because my God.
That's a problem. Right? If you're in that space right now, you got to redo all of your marketing and your entire website. You got to scrub terminology, right? Everything that's related to equity and inclusion and diversity and all those, because like a couple hundred key terms, target terms, you got to get removed. So there's an AI that will go through all your stuff, find it all, and then help you rewrite and redo or just delete. And then if you got to delete 57 blogs, now you got to write 57 new blogs. They don't use those terms though.
I mean, it's like, it's here to help. It's just here to help you. Like,
solve your problems, boo.
That's it. Because whatever you was doing, it may work for a few months, but you have to switch it up.
You gotta be able to switch things up.
You do. And, if that's like, oh, well, now everything is slowing down, but this business, they're doing the same thing. They're getting up there. It's like, okay, well, maybe
you need to hurry up.
You need to get there or find a shift, figure out what's going on. Like, find.
That's the beauty again when it comes to that thought partner. Yeah. Because see, the thing is, and there's pros and cons.
Yeah.
AI has no context. It has no subtext. It has no emotions.
Yeah.
It doesn't get tired.
No.
It doesn't get analytical.
No.
It doesn't get anxious.
No.
It doesn't get scared. It doesn't get traumatized.
There's no feeling.
Because your daddy hit you.
Doesn't even know what that is.
When you had a bright idea and your idea was smarter than his and his ego got involved and he slapped you and told you don't ever have an idea again.
That is so dark, but I get.
But it's very specific and it happened. I'm sorry. I'm so traumatized from that useless working group with those useless girls wasting my time. Who hurt you? Who hurt you, ma'am? Who?
So slow down. This is moving way too fast.
Oh my God! It's been a month and we have to get a survey.
She doesn't like
That's too fast.
She doesn't like it.
See, and AI would wrote the survey in a few seconds.
It would have been out.
And it would have wrote the email and would have emailed everybody. We got 200 responses like that. They're talking about getting 20 responses in 2 weeks.
Praise the Lord.
I can't. But in order to get an idea of what's realistic, why don't you ask the bot? And if you're like, that's 500 responses in 2 weeks, it seems unrealistic. How would I do that? And then I'll tell you, this is how. This is how. And it'll do it. If you're a marketer, and you have a style of making things, upload all 500, 1,000 of the things you've made. And then ask it to make one for you on this topic in alignment with your style and see what it makes.
Just compare it. It's not like you have to officially use
Take that version, edit it. Put that version in Photoshop and edit it up. And now it made you, instead of starting with a blank white card, you started with a version.
You made something out of the stuff that you had sitting around that you didn't know what to do with it. You just added AI. AI just enhanced. A lot of enhancement.
A lot of enhancement. But just like going to the barber, there should be some hair under there first before you enhance. I mean, I could be blunt. Look, could I use a little line up of my hairline? Sure. Do I care? No, obviously not. My point here being, I got hair though. I got edges. I got hella edges.
Okay.
Right? Could I lay these down and have them looking all soupy cute like yours are? I don't feel like it. But I have the edges. The point is that you can enhance. You know, it can add coloring, right? Like I dyed my hair, right? I had to have hair to be dyed. See what I mean? And I had to know what color I wanted. The human piece is not going anywhere.
Yes.
But I hope in this conversation today, we have impressed upon you the real use cases. Real use cases. It's not just put a chatbot on your website. Why? Put a customer service chatbot on your retail website that helps people navigate the sales process, what's the return policy, what's the shipping policy, if you're a consignment store, how's your consignment policy, when am I going to get paid? Well, I gave you a purse 2 weeks ago and I went to the store and the purse wasn't there, which means it was sold and I haven't gotten my check yet. When am I going to get my check? Well, it's not going to get cut until the 15th of the next month. Got it. There you go.
There's always a method.
It's not every single thing the same way every time. If you're a retail business, maybe you want a chatbot on your side. Why? Again, inventory. Not to write emails for you. Not to add what questions. It's just to do that. What's your problem? When people tell me they don't need AI in their business, I say to them, are you telling me that you have made all the money you can possibly make in your field? Doing the work that you've done. You're telling me you've optimized efficiency completely? You have no backlogs. There's no ideas you've ever wanted to try that you haven't tried. And you're telling me that you have extracted every ounce of value from every customer and every contact on your mailing list. Stop lying.
Allegedly.
Stop lying.
Allegedly. There's a lot of alleged.
Stop lying.
It's allegedly.
So if you don't think you need it, you're delusional. Delulu is not your Salulu. Not for that. Okay? Not for that. There's no, but I handcraft tables. I handcraft tables from pieces of wood. That's great. That's great.
But if you ain't selling them, you just crafting them just to craft them, baby. You messing up your hands.
Are you sold every table you could possibly sell?
Or like, are you on deadlines? Like, you gotta get these tables out of here. Like, what are you doing?
You don't think maybe what if you had a bot that varnished your work for you? After you did your table. And you had to hand carve it, you had to hand buff it. You don't have to hand seal it. You could just put it in a little machine that'll scan it, review it, and spray it for you. Also, you can put it in a machine that'll scan it, review it, and make a CAD file, which is for 3D printing. Now you could sell that CAD file, or you could 3D print parts of it. And now you could do another table out of smaller pieces. What do people love that style, right? They love that design. But you can't copy it because it's made from that one piece of wood. Well, you could 3D print it. Have you thought about that? You don't want to do that. Okay, fine. Let's go back to the drawing board. You just want to make your tables yourself.
That's all.
But what if you did that? You had that CAD, and then the next piece of wood that came in, you had the AI scan it and try and show you how you could build it. Build that same design, or how you can alter that design and modify that design for that piece of scrap wood that you use to hand carve your tables with. Are you just getting the point, people? Intellectual curiosity.
They'll get there.
Are you curious?
They'll get there.
I am. They'll get there. So let's help you get there.
That's the goal. That's what
Let us know.
We're gonna get you.
Was this valuable to you? Are you inspired yet? Did I cover the bases? We covered the white collar. We covered some blue collar. We covered some retail. We covered some healthcare. We usually talk about my attorneys. I feel like I talk about my attorneys all the time. I covered some law.
Attorneys, okay.
I covered some professional services organizations. Right? I even covered the artisanal handcrafted table from a piece of plywood, spare scrap wood from the ocean guy. I ain't mad at him. I like those. I love watching those videos.
Okay.
Right. You making videos? Need help editing?
You got time for it?
Put subtitles on your work? What about the guy who just mows lawns and takes videos of himself doing transformations for free? You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of applications.
Yes.
Because if you're that guy and you spend every Friday working for free, but Tuesday one of your clients canceled, and now you got a free spot on Tuesday. Well, why don't you go send a text message out to your prospects, to your clients, and say, hey, I got some free spot Tuesday. Anybody need a tree cleaned up? Or does anyone have another free yard for me to do on Tuesday? Or who has a paid service that I can do? Anyone got some trees? I'm gonna go do some tree work Tuesday morning. And sell that work. So there's a lot of practical uses. Marketing is a great easy space because marketing is so creative and it's all over the place. There's data and analytics, which is fun. As an artist, I like making AI images and videos. But you don't always got to clone yourself to use AI. So be careful.
It's okay to actually like use yourself, like to promote what you're doing, and just let AI be on the backside, even with your own bot. Like you do have to use AI, but it don't.
You don't have to use a bot.
You
don't have to use a bot.
Yeah,
that's the crazy part.
Find something else, well, I do know for certain websites. So.
I'm just saying, like, give me a hint, girl. Give me anything. 2 symbols, 2 words. Sounds like it's a film. Give me anything.
3 syllables.
3 syllables. Okay.
Because I was like, and then I was like, excuse me.
No, I'm waiting for a clue. Shoot me a clue. Call me Blue. You see a clue? Call me Dora. We found the map.
Oh my God.
Shell has shown us the map.
It's coming, y'all. It's getting in.
Let's open the map. Shell has mapped out her idea. Help us find it on this map. Help us find Shell's point.
Because it just was a struggle.
A-S-S-H-O-L-E. I'm an A-S-S-H-O-L-E.
You know what?
So take care, guys. We're going to wrap this thing up. Shell lost her point. We're going to come find it on the next map. Next week, we're going to well out the map and see if we can find Shell's point. Because Jessica was too busy cracking jokes.
Listen, no judgment. Just no judgment.
We listen and we do judge.
I listen and I don't judge.
That's you. I judge. I'm a judge. You did what? And you had a baby by?
Oh, stop.
That's crazy work. You let him back? You didn't call the police?
She said, but I love him.
Girl. I can't. I'm the last person to put on that. That's what I'm telling you. Don't put me in your group chat.
Get out of the group chat. Take out the group chat.
And the group calls. Who I'll be there with the camera on looking at you like, you stupid as hell. Just you want to say something? No, I think you heard me.
No.
You want to say something?
Mm-mm.
No.
Y'all have a good day. Y'all have a good meeting.
I'm just here taking notes.
I'm just here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Oh my God. That's why they didn't put me in that. Do not. I'm the last person to put up there. Telling people like I am HR's worst nightmare, so I don't have HR.
Know.
Oh, I know.
We know.
Don't come work. Don't apply. Don't apply to work for his company if you're sensitive. If the way I talk to Shell right here bothers you, don't come work here. Because I'm not. Now that I put this out, when you try to say I harassed you or create a toxic work environment because I made some jokes about your haircut. I'm gonna show this video.
It don't bother me
in the courthouse.
I don't pay no attention to it.
This exact video. I'm just saying, Your Honor, I confessed to the world years ago on my podcast that I crack jokes.
It's just jokes. If you ain't got no tough skin, then
it's jokes, fam. I'm not trying to sleep with you. I don't care.
It's not that big of a deal.
I'm definitely not trying to sleep with
It's
you.
not that
But
big
I
of
will
a
make
deal.
jokes. And then I'll make you feel people tell me I make it feel stupid though. I'll be like, that's you. I'm not trying to do that. Do you know how little I know when it comes to this AI stuff?
You know,
It'd be embarrassing sometimes. They'd be like, "Oh, I thought you knew that." Listen, y'all, it
it's
changes
not a
every
big
freaking
like.
day.
It's okay if you don't know. Like I hate when people do that. Like you make me
This
feel
changes
stupid. It's
every
like, it
day.
how? What you know, I may not know. What
There's
I know, you may
twenty
not. Like
thousand
who cares?
programs.
Who cares? Who cares?
You think I'm supposed to know 20,000 programs?
Yes.
With new updates coming out every day.
You're supposed to know.
That is an unreasonable expectation. Even the AI can't keep up with that.
Somebody keeping up with it.
The AI. I get emails I get like 15. You see my inbox?
Mm-hmm.
It's like 15 to 20 newsletters a day. That's a full job reading those.
Mm-hmm.
You think I read 20 email newsletters a day?
No. Not about
I don't poop that long. I eat fiber. I don't get that much time. That's what I'm saying. I say that to say, we do know what we're talking about. We do know what we're talking about, though, for real. But you ought to be patient with yourself and people. And that's why I'm saying, what's your problem? What is your problem? Most people don't need the video stuff. That's why you don't see me out here making AI videos so much. I'd like to, for me. But y'all don't need that.
Yeah.
Y'all need MCPs. Y'all need APIs. Y'all need automations. Y'all need policies and frameworks. Y'all need to stop trying
executions. You need nobody to keep making
and stop pussyfooting.
That's it.
Stop being a pussy when it comes to this stuff. Cause y'all want to wait. Oh, I want to be a late adopter. Why? I don't say you gotta be the first adopter. You're a later adopter. Why? Yeah. Who's that helping? Who's that helping? If a one-person attorney is gonna run ahead of you because you got to be late, versus a 5-person, 20-person team, because y'all want to. So so we're gonna get through. So again, it's fun. We josh around a little bit, but you guys learned how we could actually really use it in your real business. Do multiple things. Your team can do more because they're doing more in less time with less. Yes, you got to proofread the stuff. Like, do you not think we use AI to make notes for these episodes and we be going off the rails? Why? Because we're the ones doing it. I'm not sitting here reading no dang script to you.
But it's there.
But we got the script. We can't do it without a script.
We stand on task, but
you find
if you know what we're talking about, there's really no need to go word for word, bar for bar.
But we have it. It's both. Because it solves a problem. Yes. The problem was we're not going to come up here and waste your time and just jibber jabber for an hour. So we have a script.
The solution is we have a script.
But in the real world, we be talking, asking questions, making sure we are staying on topic. So it's about that with everything that you do when it comes to AI use, right? You still got to edit these videos.
I do.
But the AI helps you do it.
I do.
It cuts the ums out, the hems and haws, the long breaks, the long pauses.
Absolutely.
Helps you do the captions. So you got to understand, like, what's your problem? Like, one of our problems is visibility. That's why we're doing this. Right? The problem we don't have is writing. I'm a great writer. But another problem we do have is getting all the content all the time, right? Because I got 11 things to write. So maybe Shell does a little bit of writing. I'll read it. Solve problems, people. What are your problems? You got to look in the mirror. That's the problem. Y'all want to look in the mirror. Or you know the problem and you don't want to solve it. Or you don't want to spend the money.
I don't want to admit it. What's more so, I feel like it's more so a money thing for sure.
People, I get it. People who have the money can be a little bit sensitive about it. I was talking to a gal earlier today. She was like, they're going to charge me $10,000 to do an avatar. And I was like, yeah, that's how much it costs. But then she went over like all the pieces and the parts. And I was like, right, yeah, if you want me to clone your likeness, clone your voice, and then take all your information and make a data set, that's going to take I spent 4 hours on making data sets for me. My projects for me. I can easily spend 4 hours on one data set. Yeah, I'm charging you $10,000 for that.
Because it's time. It's a lot to go into that.
It's a lot of work to make a data set. Like, it's just copy paste. Yeah, I have to actually go do the research myself. Look it all up. I can't just ask AI to research that for me. I'll make an AI research report and I'll add it to the data set just to be there. But I still gotta go click those links.
Back in and do other research.
Pull all that stuff, compile it, read through it, realize this is crap. This is 3 of these things are saying the same thing. I'll delete that to save space. And I gotta compile it all into one master document and submit it. And then I gotta make sure I'm being holistic. Then I gotta add all the guardrails. And the guardrails you only learn over time with experience. So yeah, that's why it was $10,000. Some of y'all out here, why is this all these thousands of dollars? You know how much it costs to hire a strategist? Like
you're already paying for it, so it's like you might as well.
Or you're paying not to have it. But like if you're hiring like a business coach, I got a business coach. She's about $4,000 or $5,000 per month. I have another one, same thing. She's $3,000 ish per month. So if I were to hire both those women, I'd be paying $7,000 to $8,000 per month on coaches, on advice, on in-time real support, which I need. Don't get me wrong. But if I were to make for them, for example, if they hired me to do a $10,000 bot that cloned their likeness, they can sell that to their potential clients for $100 a month each, to get access to that. Now they only got to sell 10 of those per month to make the money back on that bot. They could sell it to 100 people. So in 1 month, they made their money back by selling 100 people access to their bot. And then that's every month.
Yeah.
So now after a year, they've made that times 10 back. See? How would that help you with your business if you're an attorney, your own AI attorney?
There you go with the attorney.
Because, wouldn't you pay $100 a month for your blank attorney, name the type of attorney, to get access to them and their knowledge 24/7?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you pay $100 a month for that? When they charge you $500 an hour or $1,000 an hour for their time?
No,
$1,000 an hour?
An hour.
And you could pay $100 a month to get access to a bot that they built, or that was built for them by someone like Moy.
$5,000 an hour, $100 an hour is just crazy.
But they're worth it if they're gonna save your estate, if they're gonna save your business. If your company's getting sued for $100 million because somebody literally showed their butt to somebody and their butt heard about it, and you need representation, you're going to pay that. Now, wouldn't it have been worth it to pay $100 a month to talk to an attorney bot that would have at least giving you advice on how to maybe rewrite your handbook so your butt would be covered if you showed your butt? And you pay $100 a month to get access to that, and then you pay another $200 for a 1.5 hour consult with the attorney. And that's fine for the attorney because then they can go look at what you did with the bot, and they can say, okay, so here's the handbook that the bot wrote that has a clause for if you want to show your butt, so that you're covered, so you don't get sued for harassment. Okay, here's our advice. Here's how we rewrote it. Checked off. Anything else? Boom. And now for $600, you covered yourself from a $5 million lawsuit. See how that works for everybody. The attorney got more clients. You got the attorney without paying $3,000 for one contract. You paid $400, $500 for a contract. That's tight. See what I'm saying?
I got you.
Make it work. Make it work, guys.
Make it work.
Make it work.
Find the problem.
Find the problem. Solve the problem.
Solve the problem.
I know shiny objects are pretty. I'm the shiny object queen. Solve your problems, guys. All right?
Bye.